Check 1, 2. And there we go. Check 1, 2. I think we're on the air. We a lot of issues have been happening within Highland weather, so I do apologize. We're getting the feed up as fast as possible here. The system is glitching like crazy. Our main broadcast feed computer. So it's taking us a little bit longer than expected to jump on the air here. So if you give me just a quick moment, everyone will be on the air doing this coverage as soon as possible. I do apologize about this taking such a long time. Again, we can't do a countdown um, because of this glitch, because of this issue. So we're just trying to work a little bit behind the scenes of getting this back up and running. So again, we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings that are currently in effect. We'll jump to my camera feed in just a moment here. I don't want to look like I'm being distracted and looking somewhere else. So I want to just make it as this as possible. But we are watching three to four severe thunderstorm warnings that are currently issued throughout much of the forecasting region. This is one that includes a considerable tag. So this first one is located for northeastern Newberry County, so that includes within that coverage region. The main until 5 p.m. this evening, 460-mile-per-hour wind gusts located along the line staying from the near 6 miles southeast of Carlisle to near VC Summer Nuclear Station. This is moving east at about 15 miles per hour. This is impacting, bringing about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts associated with this. So again, give me just a quick second here. I'm trying to get everything up and running. Normally I do that, but again, we had an issue with our broadcast system. Let's try this. That's not it. Okay, we're just about there. So again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This includes VC Summer Nuclear Station. Let's see. I'm still misspelling this. No, I'm spelling it right. There we go. Okay, so we're back up and running here. I do deeply apologize about that. So now should be ready to go. Let's go ahead and put this to the side and bring me up onto the stage. Alrighty, hello everyone. I'm Chief Weather Forecaster Becky Webb. Thank you so much here for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. So we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. You may hear some buzzing in the background. This computer is glitching now. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts for Winsboro, VC Summer Nuclear Station, Fairfield County Airport, Monticello, Jenkinsville, Blair, Bethelwood, Ridgeway, Pemoria, Peak, Lebanon Fire Station, Henderson Island, Medford, Fairfield County Detention Center, Ryan, Winsboro Mills, Fairfield Elementary School, Smallwood, and Feasterville Fire Station and Cedar Creek Fire Station. This includes I-26 between mile markers 82 and 86, and I-77 between mile markers 25 and 50. So again, we're watching this storm over here as it's over Winsboro. And we got this severe thunderstorm warning. This tag, you can see is packing about 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts associated with this for southeastern Newberry County, which we serve, south central Fairfield, Lexington, Saluda, and Richland County. So again, this is impacting about 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts for Lexington, Irma, Batesburg, Leesville, Highway 6 at Lake Murray Dam, Red Bank, Prosperity, Ballantyne. I think I'm saying that correctly. Drury Island State Park, Chapin, Gilbert, Summit for that matter, Leather Mountain Peak, Cedar Grove Fire Station, South Shore Marina, Oswald Park, Bunerick Island, Putnam's Landing, White Rock, and Murray. This includes the following highways: I-20 in South Carolina between mile markers 42 and 59, and I-26 between mile markers 83 and 102. So this has a considerable tag here as it reaches closing in towards outside of the viewing area in downtown Columbia. This includes all of Lake Murray here, impacting about 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So really want to take this as seriously as possible and seek that appropriate shelter in an interior room on the lowest floor of the building. Again, this is not tornado warned, but it is packing about 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts associated with this. So you want to act like as if there was a tornado warning issued in your location. Then we have a severe thunderstorm warning up here. It expires in about 5 minutes for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail for central Chester County. For, again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail for Chester, Richburg, Chester State Park, Cornwall, Edgemoor, and Blackstock. So you really want to make sure you're taking that appropriate shelter as much as possible. Then we have some storms over here. We have a pretty big, considerable tag severe thunderstorm warning here for downtown Charlotte. This includes the Charlotte Metro, which I'm actually going to do is I'm going to change the YouTube title here just so we can get a view look up as much as possible. There we go. Okay, perfect. Just wanted to add that portion in. So this includes until 4:30 for southeastern Mecklenburg, west central Union, and east central York counties. This is packing about 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So again, this is a considerable tag, severe thunderstorm warning. Minor hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect considerable tree damage. Wind damage is also likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. This includes uptown Charlotte, central Charlotte, south Charlotte, southwest Charlotte, east Charlotte. Sounds like a song. Matthews, Mint Hill, Indian Trail, Weddington, and Fort Mill. So this is impacting about, I don't think it has that here. This is until 4:30 p.m. this evening with 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. This is it was worse just a few minutes ago before the next scan came in over Weddington. We saw as high as 67.0 dBz, which is indicating some very, very strong, either strong damaging winds or extreme large hail. We are watching that very closely here. Well, here, I also want to look at the storm relative velocity. I'm probably going to make this thing lag. Yeah, we can see some pockets of strong and damaging winds here towards Weddington, just towards the east of Weddington here. So really want to make sure you are seeking that appropriate shelter right now. Treat this as if a tornado warning was issued for your location, because we are impacting about 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That's the same concern over here. So as we look over at this storm over here, this is packing about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail for southwestern Cabarrus, southeastern Mecklenburg, central Union until about 5 p.m. this evening for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Located southeast of uptown Charlotte near Matthews, moving east at 15 miles per hour. From Monroe, Mint Hill, Indian Trail, Unionville, Wesley Chapel, Lake Park, Mineral Springs, Henby Bridge, Midland, and Fairview in Union County. So again, that's also packing about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We are seeing some indication here of either extreme hail or strong and damaging winds. So really want to watch out for that. A lot of these storms, if you notice here, I'm surprised this one's probably going to be fairly soon. I think that's outside of the coverage region, if I remember correctly. But again, a lot of these storms here, all the way from this is a whole line of storms impacting it. A lot of these storms have strong to damaging winds associated with this. So that's the reason why we have this watch for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts associated with any thunderstorm that is going to develop. I am reporting that a thunderstorm with high winds just passed through downtown Concord. No damage to report from my immediate location. Trickling showers now. Thank you so much for that report. I greatly appreciate it here. While we're talking about that, let's go ahead here and zoom into Concord. Yeah, you had a pretty strong storm over here. It's now heading its way over Mount Pleasant. It's moving towards the east. So yeah, you're getting some not straight showers, but isolated showers pushing its way through. Not isolated, but like you said. But it is starting to be strengthened a little bit more as it exits Concord and moving east towards Mount Pleasant. So again, we're seeing some damaging winds associated with this. The National Weather Service, since this storm is about to make its way outside of our coverage region and outside of the National Weather Service Greenville-Spartanburg's coverage region. Well, I'll take that back. I was going to be surprised if they didn't issue anything. So they decided to issue. So now we have a special weather statement for northeastern Cabarrus County until 5 p.m. Excuse me. For 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-inch hail. So this is including downtown Concord and Mount Pleasant. So again, 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-inch hail is associated with this. This is not warned, but it is 10 miles per hour short from reaching that severe thunderstorm warning criteria, which most likely what will happen is the National Weather Service in Raleigh, outside of our coverage region, will issue this. So as a warning. So a lot of it has moved out. We're watching some more shower and thunderstorm activity moving in from East Tennessee. We'll get to that here in just a moment, but we have huge concerns here. Now we're zooming in towards the east of Charlotte. Let me just get my bearings here. Yeah, towards the east of Charlotte, southeast somewhat of Charlotte. We are seeing some pockets of very damaging winds here. Weddington, you're still seeing some pockets there, but if you get closer towards Matthews, along the I-485 and change here, you are seeing some damaging winds associated with this, some very, very heavy rainfall too. So really want to make sure you're seeking that appropriate shelter. This is where we have that considerable tag, severe thunderstorm warning. Hold on, I'm getting my bearings. Yeah, it is. So again, this severe thunderstorm warning is packing about 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts associated with it and quarter-size hail, located 6 miles southeast of Uptown Charlotte near South Park Mall, moving east at 15 miles per hour for South Charlotte, East Charlotte, Matthews, Mint Hill, Indian Trail, Weddington, Stallings, Pineville, Wesley Chapel, and Mineral Springs. So again, you really want to make sure you're seeking that appropriate shelter as much as possible. And it looks like they just updated this warning here. That's the special weather statement. Hold on. So they decided to drop it from a considerable tag, which I'm honestly kind of surprised about, because we're seeing pockets of about 68.0 dBz, which is indicating some very damaging winds or strong hail is associated with the storm as it moves towards Wesley Chapel. And I'm honestly surprised that they decided to drop that off a little bit, but now they've decided to continue it as just 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. That's most likely an indication of hail associated with this storm. That's the most likely thing that we're seeing, not really damaging winds. This includes South Charlotte, Matthews, Mint Hill, Indian Trail, Weddington, Stallings, Pineville, Wesley Chapel, Mineral Springs, and Marvin. Again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail is still associated with that, so we want to make sure you guys are keeping that appropriate shelter here as much as possible. Then we have the severe thunderstorm warning over here that expires in about 12 minutes for eastern Chester County in upstate South Carolina until about 4:30 p.m. this evening for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail with Great Falls, Fort Lawn, Fishing Creek Reservoir, Richburg, and Edgemoor. So really want to watch out with that. Make sure you're seeking that appropriate shelter. This is impacting about 60 mile per hour. This is bringing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail associated with that. So really want to watch out. It will be moving out of the coverage region fairly soon. We're seeing some very, very strong indication of some large hail associated with this towards the northeast of Richburg. So you really want to make sure once it reaches Lancaster County in central South Carolina, that will exit our coverage region. So again, within the next 5 to 10 minutes, we won't be covering this storm as much as possible. But this storm over here is still within our coverage region that expires in about 41 minutes for northeastern Newberry County, which we serve. Also includes Fairfield and Richland counties till about 5 p.m. Looking along the line extending from 6 miles southeast of Carlisle to near VC Summer Nuclear Station, moving east at about 15 miles per hour. So watch out for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts associated with this. And I believe we just got an update on the warning. No, that's not it. For Winsboro, VC Summer Nuclear Station, Fairfield County Airport, Monticello, Jenkinsville, Blair, Bethelwood, Ridgeway, Pemoria, Peak, Lebanon Fire Station, Henderson Island, Medford, Fairview County Detention Center, Ryan, Winsboro Mills, Fairfield Elementary School, if I can get that out correctly, Smallwood, Feasterville Fire Station, and Cedar Creek Fire Station. This includes I-26 between mile markers 82 and 86, and I-77 between mile markers 25 and 50. So you want to make sure you're seeking that appropriate shelter. Right now, it looks like the storm is starting to be on the weakening side a little bit, though. We do have a new flood advisory that was issued for Newberry County in central South Carolina to about 7:15 p.m. this evening. Indicated heavy rain due to thunderstorms. So once we finish looking through all these storms here, we'll look at the rainfall total, see how much rain has fallen within the past hour, and just get an indication of where that is here as well. So if we go over here, we also have this last severe thunderstorm warning over here towards. We have another severe thunderstorm warning over here towards Newberry County. This is impacting about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, so really want to watch out for that. Located along the lines extending from near Jenkinsville to near Red Bank, moving east at about 30 miles per hour. This includes Irmo Highway 6 at Lake Murray Dam. Again, this is in effect until for about 9 minutes or so. Irmo Highway 6 at Lake Murray Dam, Prosperity, Valentine, I believe I'm saying that correctly, Drew Allen State Park, Chapin, Little Mountain Peak, Cedar Grove Fire Station, South Shore Marina, Oswald Park, Bunnewick Island, Putnam's Landing, White Rock, Rocky Point Recreational Area, Del Mar, Hollow Creek Public Park, Melvin Park, Lighthouse Marina, and Lake Murray Marina. So you really want to watch out with that. Make sure you're seeking that appropriate shelter. Right now, Mason is in the process of joining us here, so give him a couple minutes. He's fixing some of his on here, and we'll look at the rainfall totals here in just a moment as well. But we're seeing some strong indication of extreme hail associated with this, probably up to quarter size within the warning criteria, which I'm not really surprised there. But Monroe towards Unionville and Piedmont, North Carolina, as it starts to exit our coverage region. We serve Monroe County, so it still is within our coverage region here. But you really want to watch out because this is packing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and we have a strong indication of hail. So if you're in Monroe County, Unionville, anywhere in between, which I can go ahead and just read out some of these small towns that are in the path of this, just so everyone's aware. Bakers, Follow Creek, if I'm trying to say that correctly. Lake Park, Himby Park, Benton's Crossroads, Unionville, Brookhaven, towards Monroe. I would say Monroe is in the line of getting possibly the worst part of it, at least part of the worst part of it. Towards Unionville, we'll probably see the worst part out of the storm out of all. So really want to watch out with that. And I know I keep on adding it here, but we're also at least about the next 5 hours is going to expire at 9 p.m. this evening. So let's go ahead here, and I think they've updated this warning. No, they didn't, not the last time. So what I want to look at here is I want to look at the 1 hour precipitation accumulation, which you can see part of the reason why we have that flood advisory currently issued through much of Newberry County, just to the northeast of I-26 there. We can see upwards of about close to 3 inches of rainfall has fallen within the last hour, and that's going to be the same concern there towards Winnsboro. So there's a reason why we have the flood advisory there, and the showers are still continuing to push its way over that region. So it's going to escalate that threat for localized flooding as we continue over the next couple of hours. So we really want to watch out with that and take those extra precautions if you're under a flood advisory, and you most likely will be could be under a flash flood warning fairly soon with how slow these storms are moving here. Let me make sure I can hear you, Mason. You have any updates here? Still can't hear you. So while Mason fixes that right now. So as we continue here, we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. I think out of all, the most impressive storm that we're continuing, and just continue to work on your mic. When you continue to work on your microphone, just speak then I'll let you know when you can hear it. It's all right if you interrupt me, just to let you know. So again, we are watching this storm over here just towards the northeast of Weddington. This is the main concern storm that we're currently watching here. You can see has the most strong indicator that you can think of. Not as strong, but a strong enough indication that's relatively concerning here. So if you're towards Wesley Chapel, it is starting to look like it is kind of starting to dissipate. The worst part of it, just to the north of Wesley Chapel, I would make sure you're seeking that shelter indoors, away from windows, with this hail and strong and damaging winds. Again, the National Weather Service did decide to continue it as only a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So again, some positive news there with this one. Now, I want to turn our attention over here towards the Morristown radar. Here, if we give it a quick second, over here, because these storms are moving to the east. It's going to be making its way over towards Knoxville, Sevierville, and Newport fairly soon. So again, I'll be watching this as closely as possible. It's not warned, there's no special weather statement under it, but the conditions are favorable for these storms to re-strengthen. So we'll continue to monitor that and keep you updated on the latest here throughout the next couple of hours or so. I wonder if the Columbia radar will pick it up at that. I don't think we can choose. So here's the Charlotte radar, and the Columbia radar and the Charlotte radar wanted to show this storm severely dissipating, severely calming down. So I'm actually starting to agree with the National Weather Service a little bit more with dropping that considerable tag as a portion of the severe thunderstorm warning, because it's not really as strong as it was before once we jumped on the air, which I also do apologize about us becoming on the air a little bit later than scheduled. Just some personal stuff was happening. Starting a second job outside of Highland weather, not associated with this at all. So I've been jam packed with that as well. So I do sincerely apologize there as well. But again, luckily, the positive part is a lot of these storms are not as strong as they once were. They're really starting to dissipate a little bit more. So places towards East Central Newberry, make sure you seek that appropriate shelter. Right now, this is packing about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This includes VC Summer Nuclear Station, Winnsboro, Fairfield County Airport, Monticello, Jenkinsville, Bethelwood, Ridgeway, Peak, Lebanon Fire Station, Mitford, Fairfield County Detention Center, Ryan, Winnsboro Mills, Fairfield Elementary School, Smallwood, Cedar Creek Fire Station, and White Oak. This includes I-77 in between mile markers 25 and 50. So I want to go ahead here, and I want to just cut on the last couple of hours here, see which way it is moving. So it is moving here a couple of hours. You can see it is moving towards the east over here. Slow moving storm. So that's why we're seeing the threat for localized flooding throughout the next any flash flood warning and flood advisory here. But I mean, out of all these storms are starting to exit the coverage region fairly fast here. The severe thunderstorm watch still remains in effect till about 9 p.m. this evening. Conditions are favorable and stronger towards central South Carolina, so I'm not really surprised that these storms are starting to strengthen here. You can see out of all towards Cheraw, Wallace and Cheraw outside of the coverage region here, really strong indication. So, I mean, out of all, these storms are packing a punch, and you want to make sure you're seeking that appropriate shelter as fast as possible here as well. So again, the special weather statement that includes the Charlotte Metro is set to expire at 4:30. So again, the Charlotte Metro, you guys are in the clear. I'm going to list out some cities here that are in the clear for now. We can see towards Shelby, Lincolnton, Gastonia, York, Union, Lawrence, Greenwood, Abbeville. You guys are out of all in the clear at this time. We're going to be watching another chance of strengthening thunderstorms as we reach towards the 5, 6, 7 o'clock p.m. time frame. The models are wanting to indicate that, so we'll let you know in the latest there. But again, the National Weather Service still continues the severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Paris, southeastern Mecklenburg, and central Union counties until about 5 p.m. this evening. Located 8 miles southeast of uptown Charlotte and near Matthews, moving east of 15 miles per hour from Monroe, Mint Hill, Indian Trail, Unionville, Wesley Chapel, Lake Park, Mineral Springs, Henry Bridge, Midland, and Fairview, and in Union County. So again, really want to make sure you're seeking that appropriate shelter right now away from windows here. Let's see. Sorry, what I'm also working on behind the scenes here is the broadcast system for our automated severe weather coverage is not on the air here. Let's see here. There we go. So again, out of all, the severe thunderstorm warning is set to expire at about 5 p.m. this evening towards Monroe County. So really want to make sure you're seeking an appropriate shelter there as well. Till about 4:45, for winds up to 40 miles per hour in pea-sized hail, 5 miles northwest of Lancaster, or 4 miles northeast of Fort Line, moving east at 30 miles per hour. This includes Footlon, Fishing Creek Reservoir, Richburg, and Edgemoor. So again, really want to watch out with that storm as closely as possible here. 2 severe thunderstorm warnings currently in effect throughout much of the coverage region. These storms are starting to be on the dissipating side a little bit more as we reach towards the 5 p.m. Hour here. It's going to be expanding a little bit more as it reaches towards the North Carolina Piedmont central portion of North and South Carolina because they have a more favorable condition for severe weather. What I want to look at and indicate here too is 1 hour total precipitation and see how much rain has fallen. So over here, they've seen about close to about 2.5 inches of rainfall within the past hour towards Weddington. I wouldn't be surprised if a flood advisory gets issued for that location fairly soon. It's all load up here. They're still continuing Spartanburg within it as well. Continuing much of our upstate South Carolina counties except for Greenville, Oconee, and Pickens. But the rest of the viewing area of upstate South Carolina remains under the severe thunderstorm watch. So if you're under the watch, just listen for threatening weather conditions and listen for latest statements and possible warnings. Lancaster is getting impacted really hard. Again, that's outside my coverage region here. Excuse me. So if you're in Midland, just towards the southeast of Indian Trail along 485 and Highway 74, really want to watch out with that. Make sure you're seeking that appropriate shelter as fast as possible. We are having some indication of strong and damaging hail, so really want to watch out with that. A lot of lightning is still associated with that, even towards Charlotte. So really, I would really want to watch out with this as much as possible here throughout the next couple of hours. Luckily, this storm is outside the coverage region, so we're not as they exit the coverage region. It's remaining relatively nice and calm. We got those two severe thunderstorm warnings that still currently remain in effect here at this time. We now can hear forecaster Mason, which he has joined us. Mason, do you have any updates here at this time?
Not really. We are just watching these warnings. Really, I'm gonna put the hail tracker on to see if we have any indications of hail. Let me share my screen really quick. Give me 1 second. I just hopped right back on here, and then you should be able to bring it. There it is. You can see we've got some pretty impressive hail tracks right there, Becca, especially around Winsboro. Really, now, anytime you see these pinks, really, that means that there's possibly been hail, and we can also indicate that by looking at the hail detector, and this helps us to see if there's any current indications of hail right here. You can see not a lot about Winsboro, Becca, not a whole lot, but there are still some
Right.
indications, really. Let's see here. Where is this at? I just saw that there's a tornado warning somewhere. Of, oh, that's in a different state. Okay, okay. Uh, I'm gonna try and pop this up really. My rotation tracker, see if we have any signs really. I've not been able to get the shear rate and the rotation tracker to work. It doesn't look like it's going to. But certainly, live fast track max Doppler radar are certainly showing in an area of thunderstorms that we have been watching. Really, this is actually getting ready to push out of our coverage area here very shortly out of our South Carolina counties, but we still got this one to deal with right here, Beckett. That's the southeast of Charlotte right now. So if you live over towards Matthews, Monroe, just to the east of 485, uh, we still have a warning that goes in place. That's until 5 o'clock still, and that's actually capable of producing quarter-inch size hail, 1 inch diameter hail. Really, I'm actually going to throw the hail detector on this one, Becca. There you go, right there. Look at that, Becca.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. Again, anytime you see the pinks show up, that means the storm has been more likely producing hail. Let's check this. This is the hail intensity tracker that I have. And what this does is it shows where there could be large hail at. And looks like we're not seeing any greens show up because we're starting to see greens show up within this product. That means that we are seeing large hail. It doesn't look like we're seeing large hail right now, so we might be seeing some small to medium sized hail. Um, I do want to do another thing. I want to throw the velocity on here. I love looking at all these products at the same time at once. Really, it gives me a good idea of where there could be severe weather at, where the most dangerous parts of these storms are, and it doesn't like there's a ton of stuff to worry about really. And just for fun, I want to throw this baby on here as well, just to make sure we're not having any winds that are kicking up debris. It doesn't look like it at all, except for a little spike right there, Beckett. But that's not tornadic at all. We don't have a tornado threat, I don't believe. Um,
Right.
so,
I mean, we have a small chance. It's about a 5% chance associated with this watch, but yeah, the chances are
oh,
extremely small.
there's a watch too. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so there's some watch. Okay. That's until 9 o'clock. Let's see here. I'm gonna throw the rainfall rates on. This has been something I'm concerned about right here. Check this out right here, Beckett, over towards Monroe. Look at that. That's nearing 7 inches right there. 7 inches per hour. This is rainfall rates, you guys. This is showing the potential of how much rain could
And
fall.
as you just said that, a flood advisory has just now been issued for Mecklenburg and Union counties till 10:45 p.m. for that exact location.
For Monroe.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, this would explain it because we're seeing almost 7 inch per hour rainfall rates. Again, now keep in mind, you guys, the rainfall rates. This is not how much has fallen already on or how much is currently falling. It's showing the potential and the moisture content within the environment that this storm can tap into. And if this storm stays over this area for an hour, estimates that between estimates that between 6 to 7 inches of rain could fall in this area. So flash flooding threat. So there's no wonder why we have that flood advisory that was just issued. As we look at 3 hour rainfall, not a whole lot right here. Well, check this out. Do we have flash flood warnings around Newberry and Winsboro? Because I almost feel like we should. Okay, we may have lost Beckett. But the reason why I'm asking
Oh yeah.
that,
Sorry, Wi-Fi just went out really quick, but we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Union County just now hit the live wire here. So
okay,
5
so
to 30 p.m. this evening.
gotcha. Okay, okay, I see that. Okay, but over towards Newberry, from Newberry to Winsboro, is there flash flood warnings that are in effect right now?
There is a flood advisory for Newberry and I believe Fairfield County, but there's no current flash flood warnings yet. I think it's bound to happen fairly soon because the thunderstorm is still over that location.
I would think
Um,
so because also look at how much the 3 hour rainfall is showing in that
right.
area just alone. 2 inches of rain. That's breaching that flash flood index. So if you live from Newberry to Winsboro and hearing this right now, hearing that this storm has already put down 2 inches of rain within the past 3 hours, then you know that that potential exists for you as this storm moves in your direction. Okay, so if you know someone that's driving around from Newberry to Winsboro, you need to tell them to be careful and watch out for flood roadways because flash flooding. You don't want to drive when there's flash flooding. You want to get to higher ground if there is some of that going on. Oh, Ecotops. I want to see how tall these storms are. And this right here, the one that's to the southeast of Charlotte, Beckett, this has got to be our tallest one right here. Check that out. 54,000 feet in the atmosphere.
Jeez.
And also this one up here, 51,000 feet. That's a pretty tall thunderstorm, really. So
Yeah, it is. And that same location, as you can see on there, is also under that severe thunderstorm warning, which the Raleigh National Weather Service, which is outside of our coverage region for that matter, decided to issue this also as a continuing it as a severe thunderstorm warning. So again, they're still seeing some strong, about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail associated with that, which you can see part of the reason why there as well. But again, out of all here, luckily, it looks like everything is starting to be on the calmer side. A little bit here at this time. We're watching those storms over there towards Tennessee as they're making way into western North Carolina fairly soon, which will probably ramp up those chances again, like we saw in the forecast. Yeah.
there looks to be also some storms that are trying to fire up near Buncombe County as well. If you watch the loop.
Yeah, I mean, the conditions are favorable, even if we aren't under that severe thunderstorm watch. The conditions are still continuing to be favorable for the development of severe weather. So again, just if you're in the western North Carolina mountains, East Tennessee, you want to monitor these storms as closely as possible. But again, the first line of storms are continuing to move its way outside of the upstate South Carolina and the North Carolina Piedmont within the next 3 minutes or so. But again, we'll be live here with you guys until those warnings are set to expire. Let's jump it right back over to Mason with the latest outlooks here.
Yeah, Beckett, you hit the nail on the head. It's a good point that you brought up the fact that even if you're not under that severe thunderstorm watch, you could still see these storms impact your area. And the reason why I say that is because not too long ago, like it was maybe only like a couple days ago, really, there was no tornado watch here around Ohio or Indiana at all, and yet we had a tornado touchdown around the Muncie area. Which, for those of you that don't know, that's in Delaware County, Indiana. That's just to the west of Randolph County, which is where Winchester is. So there was a tornado touchdown that happened in Delaware County, Indiana, around the Muncie area, and yet there was no tornado watch, but there was a tornado warning though. So that just goes to show you how quickly conditions can change in that amount of time. And that day, I didn't even realize that there was that much wind shear going on in the atmosphere, but apparently there was. And like Beckett said, we could see that potential to happen. We could see the potential for tornadoes to happen with these storms, even though we are dealing with a severe thunderstorm watch rather than a tornado watch. But it's still possible that we could see some spin going on within the atmosphere, really. Because if you think about it, if I pull back on the regional radar and I put the centers on, you can see, look at this right here. This is impressive. I've never seen this in all my times of being on the Highland weather team. Look at this. This tells me right here that we could very likely see maybe a spin up right here, because this area of low pressure right here, this is creating that spin in the atmosphere, that counterclockwise rotation in the atmosphere. And if you think about it, tornadoes and severe thunderstorms that rotate, they spin in that same direction, really. And so we have two areas of low pressure that are sitting near us. One just to the south and west of our viewing area, and then the other one off to the southeast side of North Carolina. So this is like impressive. And check that out. This is a good indication right here. I found that tornado warning, Beckett. It's in North Carolina, over towards the Wilmington area. Check that out. This just goes to show you that conditions can just ramp up really quickly. Right here. I know this is far away from our viewing area, but still, this just goes to show you what could happen. We could see a lot of spin get going on within the atmosphere. So.
Yeah, that is correct. I mean, as you see there, that low is currently making its way through, and like Mason has mentioned, it'll ramp up that threat for an isolated tornado. Again, the chances are extremely low, but again, with any storm, however, it's never. So again, every severe thunderstorm warning that is issued, you also want to keep in mind that possibility. But we haven't seen any tornado warnings issued here. So again, it's positive news, and we haven't seen any rotation, concerning rotation associated with any of these storms. So again, positive news there with that as well. I also have a few reports coming in here 4 miles southeast of in Union County, North Carolina. Reports dime-sized hail and heavy rain. We also got a new report coming in here from Fort Mill and York County. Emergency Management reports thunderstorm, wind damage, trees and power lines down at multiple locations on and around Old Nation Road north of Fort Mill. Then we also have another report of mothball-sized hail 2 miles northeast of Pineville, Mecklenburg County. And I believe, what's today? That's not it. I believe that's the latest reports that we have right now. Let's go ahead and jump it right back over to Mason.
Man, mothball size hail. That's impressive. Yeah, that's looks like we're seeing more of hail out of these storms, but you know, Beckett, you're hitting the nail on the head with these reports. Really, these storms they appear to be more of like hail producers rather than wind damage producers, even though we do have that one report out of York County, out of the Fort Mill area, of the thunderstorm wind damage. And that dime size hail report that you were mentioning, Beckett, from Union County, that was out of Indian Trail, is where that report originated. So I just want to make that perfectly clear. So if you live in Indian Trail in Union County, and hearing reports that that storm threw out dime-sized hail, then you know the potential exists for you as that storm continues to move through. Um, so yeah, I'm just panning around here because I'm checking all the storms for rotation to make sure they're not trying to rotate or anything, and it doesn't look like they are trying to rotate. But they could be very well producing some small damaging winds. I can actually take a couple queries right here. Looking at 22 miles per hour inbound, 27 outbound. I think the average here is going to be maybe 20 to 25-mile-an-hour winds. That's going to be possible with these thunderstorms as they do move through the region, really. As we switch back to our live radar, the main radar really that we use to track the storms, which is out of the Greenville-Spartanburg radar. You can see here we are just watching that little cluster around Asheville. Not severe though, so that's good. But certainly some pretty heavy downpours just in the southwest of Marshall, near and also to the west of Mars Hill. This is that same location where we were under tornado warning that was a few weeks back, really, if I'm not mistaken, really. And so it's not severe. It's not like that storm, not like that same setup that we had. Different setup, but still, nonetheless, this is the same area that was under that tornado warning that included Buncombe County. Um, Pull back on the regional radar again. You can see here how that line is just moving off to the east. And one other point I do want to make as well is if you guys heard the news, and this is going to be also in relation to the tornado threat, okay? And that is that just yesterday, we had a tornado happen over in Dover, Delaware, in the town of Dover, which is in the state of Delaware, right here. I'll actually circle it. It was right here. That town right there got hit by a tornado. It was not a small tornado, it was a large tornado. Okay? So, uh, that just shows you how much energy can get going in the atmosphere, really. And I know it was a large tornado because the National Weather Service had it labeled, had the damage threat label was considerable, which I I wonder what the rating on that tornado was back at the Dover tornado.
That information I'm not too sure about. I believe over there towards Delaware they are doing a report on that. I'm actually curious too because I was not expecting that last night either. Again, that was a pretty big storm.
That was, and again, that just shows you how quickly conditions can get going and how much energy can just fire off, like that quick, really. I mean, it's not. It doesn't take much to get a tornado going when you have the right conditions, when you have the right setup going, in the right conditions at the right time. You're gonna get a spin up, really, and the more energy you get pumping in the atmosphere, which is caused by a low level jet, to kick in a lot of that moisture. Um, that's what's going to spawn those tornadoes, and that's how you can also sometimes get some of those bigger mammoth type of tornadoes to happen, the EF3 and plus up, you know. So, what time is it? 4:54, almost 5 o'clock. We got about a few minutes left on these warnings. Some of the warnings here go until 5 o'clock. I know this one does for Winsboro. That one does. It also includes Newberry County. That's until 5 o'clock. Um, I'm gonna pop the hail tracker on here again. I just want to see what the hail is showing this time. And yeah, I wouldn't be. I'm not surprised that we're seeing hail reports happen, Becca. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean we saw some big indication of hail that I just realized. My camera was on. I was trying to fix everything around here. But we had indication of hail, well, not damage, but indication of strong hail there towards the North Carolina Piedmont. So, I mean, out of all, um, I'm not really surprised by that at all whatsoever. Um, Out of all, just really something to be concerned about throughout the next couple of hours here as well. Forecast the Mason will be is back on here as well. But again, I'm not really surprised there uh, how much indication of we're seeing with hail, if that came
Mhm.
out correctly. I don't know if it did.
That's right, and it's impressive, really. Um, and it looks like around Charlotte they got the most, really, as you can see here on the hail tracker. I'm gonna have to go here pretty soon because my dad's gonna need my help when he gets home from Greenville, and that was my brother that called. That's why you heard the phone ringing. Um, so yeah. Um, Beckett, how about this? How about you take over? I gotta get going, okay?
Okay.
All right. If you need me, I'm here though, okay?
All right. Thank you, Mason.
You're welcome, bud. Bye.
Bye. All right. Let's go ahead here and jump it right back over to my radar as we give it a quick second here. Uh, Give me just a quick second so I can load everything up as fast as possible here. We'll continue to bring this up here. Give it a quick second. There you go. All right. So here's the latest. So again, like Mason said, we expect for at least the next 3 minutes or so. Then we have this warning over here expiring also in about 3 minutes. Then we have this last severe thunderstorm warning over here that in Union County, for that matter, northeastern Union County. So about 5:30 p.m. this evening. So this is packing about 6 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter size hailfall miles northeast of Monroe near Wingate, moving east at 30 miles per hour. This includes Wingate, Marshville, Studevant, and New Salem. So again, really want to watch out with that. Make sure you're seeking that appropriate shelter there as well. Many of these severe thunderstorm warnings are set to expire fairly soon here. We also have another special weather statement for Union County. This is in effect till about 5:30 p.m. this evening. 9 miles north of Lancaster, 4 miles east of Andrews Jackson State Park, moving east at 35 miles per hour for Waxhaw, Mineral Springs, Studevant, Jars, and Trinity. So again, 50 mile per hour wind gusts and half inch hail is still associated with that. So really want to watch out with that and make sure you're seeking that appropriate shelter there as well. Much of the storms have started to move its way out of Monroe County. So Monroe is just getting monitored very heavy rainfall. Same thing for Charlotte. You guys are starting to get a little bit in the clear there. As towards the east of Midland, within the outside of a coverage region here, seeing some strong indication of that. So I'm getting relatively concerned for that storm over there. We're probably going to see, but again, this severe thunderstorm warning still currently remains in effect till about 5:30 p.m. this afternoon. Looking up by the storm this morning, the storm was relatively. It wasn't severe. It wasn't even strong either, but the lightning associated with that was pretty intense. Um, I got woken up early this morning, about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and big thunderstorm was moving its way through. Um, I'm sure you guys did as well because that was hard to not fall asleep through. But again, we'll see this warning for Winsboro expire, the warning for Monroe expire. I'm actually curious what Raleigh decides to put in this warning as. So they just went to put 60 mile per hour. Yes, I see. So Mason was mentioning you can see that tornado warning over here, how these storms could just randomly ramp up as isolated tornadoes. So again, you really want to make sure you are seeking that appropriate shelter there as well. So again, I'm just watching it slowly start to dissipate or magically disappear here within the next couple of minutes or so, or seconds. Should be gone right now. So again, it's positive news there with this one. So it looks like this storm is still some indication of some damaging hail associated with that. There you go. Does no longer have a severe thunderstorm warning issue for your location. The storms here towards Newberry have severely calmed down and dissipated along I-26. Few isolated rumbles of thunder is possible, but again, you'll be driving through some very heavy rainfall, so you really want to watch out with that. But besides that, upstate South Carolina towards Newberry, Winsboro, you guys are in the clear. Rock Hill, storm's continuing, so really want to watch out with that. Then we have this storm over here that's going to be moving its way outside of the coverage region fairly soon here as well. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and end the live stream here just because these storms are going to be outside the coverage region fairly soon. I do apologize about me not being live earlier than I was expecting and hoping to. We had a technical issue with our broadcast. But now it looks like everything is up and running. I'm Chief Weather Forecaster Becca Webb. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. We'll be live again if any other warnings get issued within the coverage region. We'll leave you with a live look at our radar.
Want to be a supporter of Highland Weather? Join us on Patreon for as low as $3 per month or as high as $20 per month at patreon.com/HighlandWeather. When severe weather threatens your community, Highland Weather is there for you.
Anyways, look at that. Already at 12 a.m. 3 a.m.
Getting you prepared.
Like, historic event.
Flood warning has been extended until 11.
Going inside the storm.
Strong, super strong wind gust. Okay.
Giving you the latest information.
We have numerous flash flood warnings.
And helping you after the storm. We're without water, without power. Highland Weather, the most accurate weather network for Asheville, weathering one storm at a time.
Back up here, let's talk about the automated system for a quick second here. Whenever weather warnings get issued, you will see the automated system on the main screen. It will be interrupted during live severe weather coverage about the warning. Not just that, you can also see the latest weather details on the bottom of the screen. So whenever a weather alert gets issued, it will show the top weather alert on the bottom bar of the screen, the counters on the bottom right, and also the activity monitor to let us know when we need to go live. It's also on the bottom right. You will get continuous live coverage here on the Highland Weather Monitoring System, live weather forecasts, and so much more at a touch of a button. Highland Weather's monitoring system is here 24/7 nonstop.